Welcome to all the panelists who are from. We have got galaxy of from Dr. Sanjeev Juda, Dr. Sanjeev Saxena, Dr. Manoj Shingal, Dr. Manju Agarwal, Dr. S.K. Bali from North Zone. We have got Professor B.N. Kar, Dr. Rohit Rupanda, Dr. Shashi Kumar, and Dr. Tapas Ranjan Behra from East Zone. I think we have all listened to Dr. Murli, and he has talked at length about the usefulness of sulfuric hydroxide and what it appears, whatever he has conveyed, it appears that that is one of the finest possible binders. One is not able to find any flaw. What you desire from them, except minor side effects. Dr. Sanjeev Saxena is in two groups. I think at the same time there's another meeting which is going on for Daily Nephrology Society.
Yeah, that is over, Dr. Verma.
That's over. Oh, that's fine. That you are here. So I'll start with Professor Sanjeev Saxena. I always appreciate his practical approach. Where do you place this phosphate binder in your practice?
You see, if I'm asked which one would I prefer first, I would certainly prefer calcium carbonate as the first calcium phosphate binder. And the reason for that is that one, it's cheap. Two, it corrects the acidosis. Three, it doesn't cause much of GI side effect. Four, it gives you some calcium if needed. So, overall, it fits into the bill of the classical Indian patient who has hypocalcemia, hyperphosphatemia, and it's cheap, right? But you have to give it with food. That, of course, you have to remember. If you give it in between the fact is that I have used this and I have more than maybe 100 patients on Dynulta by brand name. So, what my experience is, initially, a lot of patients I found were complaining of black stool, loose motions as was discussed earlier. I don't think I have seen much loose motion. But black stools was a problem, and if you explain to them, they would then carry on with the medicine. So, besides black stools, I think otherwise I found it a very useful phosphate binder. So, as of now, I'm using it in combination where one drug is not sufficing. That's what
I'll put the question to Professor Manju Agarwal, the chief of nephrology from Artemis Hospital. Dr. Sanjeev Saxena said that possibly the first choice will be calcium carbon. That is his personal choice. Your comment on this issue, calcium carbonate being the first choice, and knowing it also, the possibly in Indian scenario, maybe the calcium is low, but knowing the risk of hypercalcemia, and today the recommendation going against it, your comment.
Yeah. So what I do is usually, if you make these patients vitamin D replete, now I'm talking about 25 dihydroxy, hypocalcemia simply disappears. So most of them will become normocalcemic or somewhat like 8.5 types. And so I usually do not use calcium carbonate. I'm still a fan of Sevelamer. I guess old habits die hard. I may fall in that group. So 90%, 95% it's still Sevelamer. So I do not use much calcium. In fact, hardly any. Right.
And where do you place
And my experience is that calcium becomes normal once you make them vitamin D replete. And if they're not vitamin D replete, as it was in the older era, let's say 10 years ago, their calciums would never become never normalize how much calcium carbonate, acetate we used. I think that's where I am.
Professor Manoj Shingal, and let's say the phosphate is 8 milligram or 9 milligram, which is not very uncommon. First question I'll ask you that what is the incidence of hyperphosphatemia in your dialysis population? And secondly, if let's say the phosphorus is 8.5, how do you go about?
So in my practice, most of the patients are hyperphosphatemic, except for maybe 10% patients who are grossly malnourished or uremic, where they don't eat anything. They may have a normal or low phosphate, but all the other patients who have been on dialysis or who are reasonably well nourished, they would have hyperphosphatemia. So my choice again is sevelamer carbonate. As doctor, it also corrects acidosis in these patients, binds phosphorus. So almost 90% of my patients are on sevelamer carbonate. I usually use 800 milligrams 3 times a day, and most of my patients, the phosphate is controlled with that dose. There may be around 10 to 15% patients who would require more than that. So they initially get 6 tablets a day, and once their phosphorus come down to acceptable range, I cut down to 1 tablet 3 times a day. I hardly ever use 400 milligram tablet of calcium sevelamer carbonate. That's the usual practice.
What about Dynolta?
What about Dynolta?
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't used Dynolta very much. I have tried in 2 patients, but I think one switched back to sevelamer because of some GI intolerance and loose stool. So other patients have refused because of their cost constraint or some other reason. So I haven't been able to use it in too many patients.
Dr. S.K. Bali, is he around? Professor S.K. Bali? If not, Dr. Sanjeev Jasuja, is he there? Well, we go to the East Zone, Dr. Rohit. Dr. Rohit Rungata, he is a consultant nephrologist at Medica Super Specialty Hospital in Kolkata. I'll ask you your experience of tolerance of sucroferric hydroxide.
Right. Good evening, sir.
Because you heard though the experience from North Zone has not been huge.
Right, sir.
I've used it in many patients, around 40 to 50 patients.
Right.
But I'm wanting your comment on tolerance of this drug.
Right. So first of all, I would like to say you need to convince the patients about the black stool thing, because most of the dialysis patient, most of the CKD patient have a faint idea that a black stool is detrimental to their health. They usually think there is blood loss through the stool. So you need to convince them that this tablet can cause black stool. Apart from that, I have found around 10% of the patients having loose motions. More so, have to stop Dynolta in about 50% of them. Otherwise, most of the patients usually tolerate it quite well. This is my personal experience, obviously.
Okay.
So once the patients are convinced that this tablet can cause black stool, they are quite comfortable with it until unless they have loose stool, obviously.
Okay. And have any patient reported constipation also?
Not.
Patients, they
right, sir.
take the drug because they complained of constipation.
So I haven't heard this complaint of any patient as such till now.
Dr. Tapas Ranjan Behra there. Dr. Tapas Ranjan is a consultant nephrology at SUM Hospital, Bhubaneswar. No, Dr. Shashi Kumar, HOD nephrology at Paras Hospital, Patna.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Yeah. What is your experience about this new drug?
So thank you for this wonderful lecture. And I'm going in line with what Dr. Manoj Singhal has said and what Dr. Rungta has said. So my first choice is still sevelamer, and I'm quite agree with Dr. Manju Agarwal also. So we depending upon our patients. So before joining to this corporate hospital, I was in government sector. So most of the patients are malnourished there. So they have hypocalcemic hyperphosphatemia. So in those patients, calcium-based phosphate binder is okay. But when your patient is quite nourished, so the incidence of hyperphosphatemia is high with normocalcemia. So in that patients, we need to use, we usually use sevelamer. This drug is theoretically very good. So, but since it's a new drug, so I have tried this drug as an add-on therapy with sevelamer. So those patients who are not well controlled with sevelamer, so I have added this molecule in almost 40 to 45 patients. So what I experienced is selection of patient is very important. And apart from that, you need to, regarding its area, after that only the patient with.
I will like a comment from Dr. Manju Agarwal. As you mentioned that possibly patients who are not responding to sevelamer. Dr. Manoj Shingal mentioned that most of his patients respond with sevelamer. Dr. Manju Agarwal, your comment, what percentage of patients?
I think very few, but those are people who are usually either on activated vitamin D, I would say. So I think we need to temporarily hold that. And yeah, many times I think maybe 10% or 15% that you really need to jack up the tablets to 3 tablets each meal. So that becomes a huge pill burden. And those are the ones I think I tried Dynulta SFO in 2 patients. Both of them got diarrhea and gave it up. I think probably one had to be more perseverant and kind of persuaded them more to take, possibly.
Okay. Dr. Manoj Shingal, is he around?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What percentage of your patients respond to sevelamer? Or you have to go ahead and combine with some other binders?
Usually not, sir. I usually use sevelamer carbonate alone. Usual dose is 800 milligram 3 times a day. But in very few patients, say around 10 to 15% patient, I have used 2 tablets 3 times a day. So that's 1600 milligram. But almost, I would say, 80% patients are controlled with 800 milligram 3 times a day.
Dr. Sanjeev Saxena?
Yes.
You are expert on this.
I'll tell you what. Maybe I have about Dr. Verma, about 100 odd patients on Dynulta Dino, the first drug that I've used for prostate control. And I think it's an effective drug. These are patients who have fairly reasonably normal calcium and only high phosphate. So there, I'm surprised that most patients you people are seeing are having good calcium than high phosphorus. Because I have maybe equal number with low calcium, high phosphorus and near normal calcium and high phosphorus. So of late, say maybe in the last, if you remember the last meeting on Dynulta that we had, after that I put all my patients on Dynulta as their first phosphate binder, not sevelamer, for those who had good calcium. And I think it's working well. I'm not finding much of GI distress, except, you, as somebody else also mentioned, you got to convince them that, dark stools you'll have to overlook. So, and it controls pretty well, as good as sevelamer, I would say.
Dr. B.N. Carr. Dr. B.N. Carr is there? Dr. B.N. Carr is head of nephrology at MKCG Medical College, Cuttack. I saw him before.
Yeah, United.
Anyway, so where we are at the moment, possibly all the speakers are still sticking to their old trusted drugs. Dr. Sanjeev Saxena is going for calcium carbonate, switching to the.
The Carr is there. He might probably need to unmute himself. He is speaking something.
Dr. Carr. I'll just see. Dr. Kar,
He's
mute
muted.
yourself. Hello.
कर दिया सर, कर दिया सर.
Yeah. Dr. Kar, your take on what phosphate binder you are using. And I'll also like to ask you, are you using phosphate binders in most of the dialysis patients?
He's still muted.
Still muted, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the signs will show.
Somebody has to tell him to unmute. Who can tell him? Anybody who has
Dr.
his number
Verma.
can tell him.
No, he
Yes,
can
okay.
hear us. Come along, Sanjay.
Advisors, if they can ring him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure guys should. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are doing this.
The organizers, please also
Hello.
tell that we have not missed anybody. Dr. Sanjeev Jasuda, I have not been able to contact. Dr. S.K. Bali is not there. And we have not been able to contact Dr. Tapas Ranjan Behra also. If any one of them is there, Dr. Kar is, I think.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello, Dr. Verma. Good evening.
Good evening to you. We were trying.
Good evening. Yes. How are you? Fine.
We want your friends the use of this.
Hello. Whatever. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Am I audible?
You are audible.
Okay. So as far as my experience goes, I was using the conventional phosphate binders in majority of the patients on dialysis, almost 99% of patients. But about Danolta, what I have used for 40 to 50% of patients, what I have noticed, there is a GI intolerance. Also, majority of the patients have stopped due to GI intolerance. But as far as phosphate binder is concerned, I think it is a good phosphate binder, and I have noticed also good response. This is my experience.
Are you using it as de novo? Are you using it that if there is no response to Sivalimer or calcium carbonate?
So I am using as de novo when there is no response to this Sevlemar. First I have used Sevlemar, then when there is no response, I have used Danolta. That is my experience.
Let's have now the opinion. Is Dr. Tapas Ranjan here? I'll ask from Dr. Manju Agarwal now. Where do you place it now? We have listened to all the opinions. Everybody is possibly sticking to Sivalimer or calcium carbonate because they are old trusted drugs. With Sivalimer, acidosis is countered. Now, this drug, we all are understanding, is effective. Everybody has used it and everybody finds it effective. The only drawback being that the GI intolerance or the loose motion or discolored stools are there. If you heard Dr. Maloney, he possibly said that all these effects gradually wear off. It's a question of first 1 or 2 weeks, and then the GI intolerance also wears off. Where will you place it? One by one, I'll ask everybody, is there a place for this drug now?
I think, Dr. Verma, there is possibly. So I think we just need to, it's said change is the biggest problem to kind of achieve. So maybe we need to try it. Discolored stools are here to stay. The color can't change as long as the drug is there. So hopefully, as he says, Dr. Maloney says, the diarrhea would disappear. It's possible. So once the diarrhea disappears, a lot of patients may just get used to black stools, like just the way they take oral iron. And they probably should get used to it. I think if the pill burden is low, as it is said, and if it was cost effective, maybe it gets popular, it gets a bigger market share. If we were to talk in terms of conventional market share concept. So currently, Sevelamer rules the roost, but maybe this could get a reasonable share. And I think we should give it a fair try. I actually sincerely feel so.
Dr. Sanjeev Saxena, I think you have used in 100 patients and you are reasonably happy with the phosphate lowering effect.
Yes, even the diarrhea part and the black stool part, I think is not a big problem.
Not a big problem. So you feel that if the price is competitive, it should find a place.
Yes, certainly.
Dr. Carr, your opinion?
My opinion is loose stool is there, of course. Once loose stool is not a problem, but I think the cost should come down. But because the cost is too high for the patients, for our country to bear, that is my individual opinion. But it is a good phosphate binder so far as we are concerned for on dialysis patients.
Dr. Shashi? Any of the panelists who is there? Dr.
I think, Dr. Verma, it's time for people to have their
Dinner. Good one,
Take
Sanjeev.
some phosphate rather than bind it.
From the
Good one.
is there are you trying to cut down the cost or the selling price of the drug from organizers?
Good evening, sir.
Very brief.
Sir, about the cost, I will say about this, sir. As you know, that volumes always makes a means cost of this drug. As of now, what we have done is comparable to any standard phosphate binders. If you see, sir, we have kept that price in that range.